Hey everybody, it's Flyin Ryan here with a review of the Syma X11 Hornet. And this is an awesome little micro quad. I am very impressed with this one. At first you may think, yeah, it looks like a Hubsan X4 clone, and it certainly does have the body design, but on the surface you'll notice the props look different. Well, if you look even closer, the props look different because this is actually gear driven. So you'll see you've got these tiny motors. They're actually quite small motors, and then they go up to the pinion there, and then the prop has a gear on it. So it allows bigger props to be flown slower, so the motors don't have to work as hard, and you get just as much lift, which then makes for really long flight times, really quiet flight. It only takes about half throttle to hold a hover, so you've got a lot of throttle for punches, to get flying faster. But it does make for, there's more parts to break, and the props are a little more complex to change. They screw on and off, which ironically, Syma stuff normally comes with a screwdriver, but the one that actually requires a screwdriver to change props did not come with a screwdriver. So I thought that was kind of funny. But it does have a full set of spare props and a USB charging cable. And the battery is just a tiny little 200 milliamp hour battery that takes about 35 minutes to charge, but you get about 7-minute flights with this form, and it does have a prop guard protective frame thing here, which you get about 6.5-minute flights with that on, and it's really easy to put on. It just plugs in, so you don't even have to take the props off or anything. You can kind of just fit it around, and you'll see there's the 3 little spots on each motor mount for the prop guard to plug into, so nice and easy to take on and off, and it works quite well, and doesn't, it's really nice and light, so it doesn't have a huge effect on flight performance. But talking about flight times, I found that if you use the Hubsan 380 milliamp hour battery, you get 11-minute flights. And if you use the 500 milliamp hour battery, you get 13-minute flights. So absolutely crazy. 13-minute flights out of a micro quad. I don't think any quad this size has flown for that long. And it fits just fine. It kind of hangs out the back a little bit, but there's no modding, no squishing it in there. It just kind of hangs out a little bit, but it didn't really affect the flight performance at all. I didn't have to do any trimming to adjust for it. It works just fine, and it even flips fine with the big battery in there. And the motors were barely even hot after the 13-minute flight. So really impressed with the flight times on this. Let's see. The transmitter is probably one of my least favorite features. Again, I've complained about this transmitter before. I just really don't like it, especially being a pincher. Just is not one of my favorites to use. You've got 2 rates. There's a high and low rates, but the yaw rate does not change, and the yaw rate's a little bit slow. And so those are really the 2 things. If it had a hobby grade, styled transmitter with sticks, like the Syma X5C had, and if it had a little bit faster yaw rate, this may be my favorite micro. But these 2 things kind of keep it from quite meeting that the best list yet. I think it's really good, but could be better. And it doesn't bind to the Syma X5C radio. It uses the same protocol as the X12 Nano, so if you could have kind of a little mini me version. I like how the colors all look the same and everything. So you can fly both of these with the same transmitter if you wanted to take the 2 quads in one transmitter. Let's see, what else is there to say? Lots of stuff to say about this one because I really like it. The flips are good. They work really well. Again, you press the hold the right button and then move your right stick to do your flip in whatever direction you want. Oh, and it has LEDs too. It has really nice bright LEDs in the arms, so very easy to see. Good for night flying. Good for orientation. Lights up really nice and bright, and the plastic's even transparent where they are. So the LEDs are great as well. And, oh, and there's a camera version coming. This is just the X11, but you can see it kind of has all the dummy parts for it still. The frame still is, you know, as it would be if it had the camera, but it just doesn't have it. But there is a camera version coming, so it would have a lens there, and I believe it even comes with a SD card and a USB card reader, and it's a HD 2 megapixel camera. So I don't know if I'll review that one as well. I'd imagine it'll be just the same, but you know, maybe a little bit heavier, so a little bit you know, affected in the flight performance a little bit because of extra weight. I don't know if they put bigger motors in that one or not. And then it does have little rubber landing feet, so it's got a nice soft landing. So just lots of great stuff to say about this one. Again, the transmitter and the slow yaw rate are really the only negatives. Everything else, I just love it. It flies really nice and smooth, good precise 6-axis. It's nice and quiet because of the geared system. So just really, really happy with this one. Really liking it. But enough with my rambling. Let's go take it for a flight. Alright, this is a flight review of the Syma X11 Hornet. And this is a cool quad, so let's give her a good flight. I got the prop guards on so we can check those out. And you'll notice it's really quiet, has that unique sound because that's the gears. That's full yaw. And that's just, look at that. Nice and stable. This thing is just awesome. But there's high rate, so yaw does not change, so you can't really do funnels with this. There's about as best as I can probably do funnel wise. But it's got some good pitch to it, so could get going pretty quick. Go back to low rates and just kind of do some precision flying. Nice and smooth. Good flying quad. I just love the big geared props. I think it helps with stability because you got those big props that just sort of, you know, the more air movement, more coverage. So there's just hands off. I'm going to try to get the throttle managed a little bit. There's complete hands off. Look at that. Other than the throttle losing out there, I mean, it hasn't even moved out of its spot. That is impressive. Alright, let's do some flipping. So even with the prop guard on, it does nice clean flips. A little wobbly there afterwards because of the prop guard, but still not bad at all. Let's try to bump into the washer. Not bad. A little bit faster, not bad. There, that one got it. Still nice and protected though. Man, I am in love with this quad. What are you doing? You got it all confused. Let me let it sit for a second there. There we go. If it just had a little bit faster yaw rate and a better transmitter, this would probably be my favorite micro. Maybe not, I don't think it quite beats the Blade Nano QX, but otherwise I think it could probably beat the WL Toys V252 V2 if it had the better yaw rate. It just flies so nice and precise. And the long flight times with those geared drive props, I know a lot of people ask about really long flights, and this is definitely the one to get if you want long flights for a micro. And it's got those good LEDs. But speaking of, let's go ahead and take it in for a landing and turn some lights off. I think I've shown everything it can do in the light. And let's see how these LEDs look. So not super bright from above, but plenty visible from below and sides. Definitely a night flyer. You can see the LEDs just fine. Man, this quad just has everything going for it other than that yaw rate. Syma is always slow on the yaw rate. I don't think they have a quad with a fast yaw rate yet, so maybe one of these days they'll see one of my reviews and come out with something with a crazy yaw rate. Not bad though. Turn up the high rates. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Alright, turn the lights back on. I don't even need to go in for a landing on it. It's so stable, I can just look at it. Man, this thing is crazy stable. I mean, it's just, other than holding the throttle management, I mean, it's just the right stick. Look at, I mean, I don't think I've seen a micro that holds its place that well. I mean, that is just ridiculous. Oh, and you can recalibrate the accelerometer on this. I think I forgot to mention that in my tabletop review. If you hold both sticks to the down right position, down right corners on both sticks, that'll recalibrate the accelerometer. So that's nice. You got a recalibration option. Another positive for this awesome quad. Man, I like this thing so much I may have to get the camera version just to know. I think it does protect. Yeah, kind of. I think it sounds like the props are hitting a little bit, but there are these little notches on the side of the prop guard there that does protect above the props. Not much though. My gosh, this thing is stable. I just cannot get over that. Oh my god. This one's kind of a no-brainer, folks. I mean, if you like quads, you need this in your collection. I mean, I cannot rave about this thing enough. It is just so much fun, and long flights, good LEDs, everything. Just the yaw rate and the transmitter. And I know I dislike this transmitter more than most, so I don't even think the transmitter's probably a negative for everybody. And even the yaw rate's not bad. I mean, that's full yaw, kind of full yaw and full left pitch, so that's sort of a funnel. But you know, the yaw rate would be good for outdoors, you know, flying bigger loops and you know, circuits and stuff. It's just a little bit slow for indoors. Oh, and there's my LVC, the lights blinking. So that was the full flight there with the prop guard on and doing all the flips and everything. So nice long flight. It's just really, really smooth, and I think I've raved about as much as I can about this one. So yeah, go check the video description and go buy it now. Alright, well thanks for watching. Please subscribe and I'll see you next time.